Cause I'm happy, clap along if you feel like without a roof. Cause I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come that news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel without roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Love is too bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. I said, take down. Bring me down.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know what? That was a perfect song. I was like, you know what? We gonna play that because we happy this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is my speaker.
Power off.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you guys for logging in for another conversation, for another podcast of Conversations Unlocked and Unfiltered. I'm your host, Ebony, with my co-host
Misha.
and our special guest, our financial coach.
Tanya. Hey, y'all.
Good morning, and we welcome everyone again. Like this podcast, share this podcast, follow this podcast, Facebook, YouTube, under the New Cavaliers on YouTube. I believe it's also on Instagram. With that being said, we're gonna get right into it because our time is limited this morning. So, Misha, can you give us a quick prayer? Ian, my sister.
Sure. God, I thank you for today. I thank you for being happy. I thank you for being in my right mind. I hope this podcast helps someone and that it reaches the multitudes. Lord, keep giving us strength to come up with topics that will help our people and people
Yes,
just
Lord.
in general. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. And with that being said, this is another session. This is another financial literacy session, and so how did the surveys come out? I
So
we Go ahead.
I'm glad I saw that you posted that. So I'm still collecting. Like I still have people that are that haven't completed the surveys.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I know on your post you shared the link, and maybe we can drop it in the comments. But
I'll drop it in the comments right
yeah,
now.
I appreciate that.
So I know I did. I said, and I've been sitting it since. Well, we've been sitting out for about a month now. So guys, if you have not filled out the survey was shared last night. I'm also about to drop it in the link. Please go fill out the survey. It takes y'all not even 2 minutes to fill out the survey.
Mm-mm.
Again, she's offering y'all help. I mean, what more do y'all need? Y'all need help. Listen, we trying to change some things in this new age. We trying to be different. We trying to be better. We trying to elevate our people. So
Mm-hmm.
look, all it takes is 1 minute. Fill out the survey. She's collecting data. She's trying to figure out where she needs the help. And again, she's offering us advice for free. She not asking y'all for nothing. Now I don't know if y'all get some kind of connection. I don't know what happens, but
Mm-hmm.
here you can come get this advice, and she's willing to give it to the community. So come on, let's support this. Let's support her. Let's
Mm-hmm.
again hard headed do the survey. It takes 2 minutes. Do the
Yeah.
survey. Y'all need help. Don't say, hey, I didn't know, because she look this your third time on. A second time?
It's this is the second.
Oh, okay. So 2 times, and then, like I said, this is something that she wants to do on a regular basis, and we trying to get it where it's a monthly thing. Come on, y'all, join us for our financial literacy Saturdays. So
Yes.
with
And we will be asking, so I will say this.
hmm
We will be asking for donations because I do have a nonprofit. And part of that nonprofit is to be able to pour and do more for our youth and student athletes. So the initiative of providing the financial education is for all, but as we all know, it takes resources to do anything. And so yes, but what's important is a lot of people like to throw information out to you. And finances, like we talked about last time, can be uncomfortable to talk about, right?
hmm
People want to know what they need to know for their current needs, not just blanket information. And it's like, oh, that's good to know, but walk away and not know what to do or how to get their financial situations under control. So that survey is to find out what the need is, where we start, because I could talk about almost anything, but what does it matter to tell y'all what I know if it ain't helping you, right? So yes, please complete the survey. It's going to be in the comments. I appreciate it because this ain't for me. This is the work that God wants to do through every person, every platform, every space that will allow me to come in and share, and every place he called me. So y'all stop sitting right here talking about I want to get my finances and my credit and my start a business and start building family legacies, and like all of that starts with getting our financial house in order.
and we've been having podcasts lately about about the same thing, about um home ownership, about assets, about
Mm-hmm.
retirement. And so
Mm-hmm.
this is the most important part, because how can you acquire all of that and your finances aren't in order? And
Right.
Kayla has this thing of saying, get the family business straight. Listen, I've
Mm-hmm.
been on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that has been a motto. I've been on that. Family is a business, and the family business
Yes.
needs to be in order. And so I'm
Yes.
a stickler for that. So with that being said, one thing I do want to ask you. Okay, so we might have some moms on here, and if they're on here, what is the athlete program that you have? I know you post that all the time about financially helping athletes. So can you talk about that really? Well, you ain't got to be recorded. Just talk about it.
So Mindset Moves Mountains is a whole ministry. And to be honest, y'all, I thought it was going to be a speaking platform for me. I, in all honesty, thought it was. And God said, it's more than that. I thought I was just going to provide one thing. And the more I sought God, the more he revealed, it's bigger. So many of you know that my kids, my sons, our nephews, like my husband has been coaching for what, 10 plus years. So he coaches, he's training. We have been on a field, on a track, on a court for the last 15 years. And there's just some things along the way that I questioned. And I wondered if these kids were getting what they need. So when it comes to not only providing financial education, but also making sure they understand the college recruitment process, not just the student, but the parents, the moms, the dads, the grandmas, whoever the caregivers are, because it's the wild, wild west. And a lot of people will take advantage of you, especially right now that college athletes are getting paid. The sharks, y'all, are swarming. And if you don't have trusted representation, what's important to us is to be that trusted place where you can go to and say, hey, listen, I'm talking to this coach, this financial advisor is reaching out. I have an account. Like, I don't know what to ask. I don't know. I got an interview for this, and I don't know what to do or where to start. The goal of Mindset Moves Mountains is to be that trusted space, to build trust in relationships, to help empower our student athletes, educate them, and to be a resource. So all the things that I'm doing, when I say my game day devotional that a lot of you probably have seen me, that's a whole God thing. That was a whole God thing. I was like, oh, that's good. He gave me like 2 years ago. So donations for that, anything I'm doing, I'm asking for donations, and it's to pour back into this ministry that God gave me and my husband to help in the way that we're supposed to help. So in a nutshell, Mindset Moves Mountains is for the student athletes and their families, because there's so much to know, and there's so many people that's waiting to take advantage of you.
So I have a question, and I don't know if you can. Well, I know you're familiar with it because I hear it all the time. What is? Oh, I'm waiting for my baby to get an NIL. What is that? And
So
why is
that's a
that?
good.
Is that important? Is that something that parents should be? Um, I mean, I don't know how to ask the question because my kids wasn't sport. They didn't do sports, so I just
That's a
hear it
good
all the time.
question. That's a great question, because if we're not careful, then we'll get sucked in by the sharks. So NIL stands for name, image, and likeness.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that's a big thing, and you're hearing a lot about it now, is because there was a period of time where college athletes couldn't get paid. And matter of fact, they'll be in trouble if somebody paid them.
Yeah.
And it really has been unfair for them not to be paid on their name, their image, because they're the one that's running the ball, they're the one that's shooting the baskets, they're the one that's crossing finish lines, and they weren't able to get paid. So now they're able to get paid on their name, their image, and their likeness. So, which is a great thing, but without education, we all know it can be disastrous, right? So when you think about hearing people saying, like you said, hey, I'm trying to get my son an NIL deal, an opportunity for their child to get paid and represent and be a brand ambassador for a organization, a company, or I mean, this is also coming from schools. So that's what they're referring to, how my son can get paid. My son or daughter can get paid.
Mm-hmm.
The the thing is now, so since things have changed, and it keeps changing because it's new, and we have to be informed as the parents of these athletes, because if they're not doing things in order or correctly, they can their eligibility can be affected, and they may not be able to play. Things have to be reported correctly. You have to go through compliance, all the reason why you need trusted people. But that's what NIL stands for. And it's when you hear a parent or anybody talking about, oh, we got NIL deals. Okay, what do you mean when you say that? That's when you start asking questions. What do you mean? Because they could be trying, it could be the bait to try to attract you.
So and I'm asking this question on behalf of some people.
Mm-hmm.
So with because I know this is part of financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's finances. And so even with that deal, it's very important, right? Because with any deal, right, you should have somebody financially advising you as to where, like, what your child is getting is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on the right page?
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
whether, so is in any case, if your child is offered a deal and say they have a coach or something, is the coach or the person who's trying to get the deal, are they ever eligible for some of that money?
It all depends.
So
It
it's
all depends. So typically, so we'll start with high school students.
okay.
Okay. So if you in high school, pretty much everything that when it's coming through your head coach, whatever any college that's trying to reach out to you, to find out whatever they're trying to find out, because they want to recruit you, it's starting with and coming through the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now NIL deals can be offered even outside of a school, because you can get an NIL deal, you can get a request to be an ambassador for a brand. It could be a mom and pop that say, man, you doing great things out there. Listen, listen, I got a barbecue joint, and I want you to come out, and I'm having an event. I want you to come out and sign autographs, or I want you to post on your Instagram something about my barbecue spot, and I'm gonna pay you this. If you are a student athlete, you got to be careful. That's a deal. And you got to make sure it doesn't affect you because you're being recruited. So there's so many different ways that they can reach out to you. So it's so important. If you have your head coach, whoever this parent is, their head coach, make sure you trust this head coach. If your head coach ain't sharing information and you ain't asking certain questions, then if you don't understand, ask the question. If you question, ask the question. And if they not giving you the information, then you got to find somebody you can trust and run those questions past that person or those persons.
So even as a you so at your because you're a financial coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a teen, if I had a teen son, would you advise me to make sure my son, if he's like that, and I'm gonna say like that because that's what they say, um, has a financial advisor before we do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that very important? Now I'm talking to the parents out there, so I'm talking on behalf of y'all. I can't say that my kids are the tech geeks, so
Mm-hmm.
um, it's very important that you get your child a financial advisor, not you. We need somebody that knows what they're doing because you can mess it up, right?
So, meaning you said meaning like not the parent.
Yeah, if the parent
So
don't know, because we got some
yes,
parents that just see the money and it's just dollar signs, but they
yes,
don't know the business part.
yeah, yes. So it's important to have someone review. My sister just said, talk about the contracts. It's so important for you to have somebody review these contracts. And that it starts with, first off, there's a team of people you need. You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer to review any contract. Don't sign not your name on not nothing until someone has looked at that contract. That's so important because there's so many contracts that you could be signing over because it sounded good, but you could be signing over rights to your name, image, and likeness. So I don't care how much money they throwing parents. It doesn't matter what they're telling you. What matters is what the contract says. So you definitely need a lawyer looking over a contract before you sign anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. The financial advisor comes into play when it comes to how this money is going to be managed. So my role, even as a financial coach, because I'm right now in the process of getting back all my licenses to wear the full hat of a financial advisor. But in that process, what you want to do, because like right now, I can advise my son. That's my son. I can give my guidance to my nephews. Those are people that I can do that because I'm not wearing that hat, but I know what I know, right? That part is when you have the money, the lawyer has looked over the contract and said, yeah, this legit, or no, they need to make these adjustments. Now this is you're gonna get $100,000. Now the parent, the child who's never seen $100,000 or who just don't know what to do, what do? You need someone to guide you on what to do with that money so it lasts because that money can be gone. There are so many taxes and that money can be gone. So if that answers, because I can go on and on. So I'm gonna stop right
No,
there. Did
no,
that
you're fine. No,
okay.
this is important. So this is might be what God has for us. So no, because for some reason that popped into my mind because I'm hearing it more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about it, but because I know personally, and I've been trying to say, hey, reach out to y'all because
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure that you know. So
Right.
I just texted to both of them. So
Mm-hmm.
these are questions that I'm gonna ask on behalf of them
Family
because I know.
members.
Yes,
Good.
I need this to
Yes.
know. So it's so important because that's all I hear. But I need you to know the other side of it because what happens when this is done? What happens if
Yes.
that is done? So, um,
Yes. We have seen like going on these visits, me and my sister and my husband, as we're going on these college visits, we've learned so much. And part of Mindset Moves Mountains, part of this nonprofit is to make sure that there are connections. Like we have contacts with lawyers. I'm building, I started to build trademark lawyers who can review contracts because it's important. And these ain't just people, these are people I have vetted, we are vetting, and people we have built relationships with and we trust. Because I'm gonna keep going back to this trust. It's all about trusted relationships because when it comes to finances, when it comes to contracts, honey, trust the lawyer, because if you can't even trust the lawyer, that contract, it may not be what in your best interest, or your athlete best interest. These are, I understand at 18 you're an adult, but they still kids. Okay. And kids with a lot of money, young men, young women with a lot of money, is like, oh, listen, I'm finna stunt. I'm finna go get the latest, the greatest, and that money will be gone. But if you, I'm gonna paint y'all a picture
Go
just
ahead.
how important it is. So April in the stock market, everybody, if you invest in April, you know that everything dropped. And I've always said, when the stock market dropped, uneducated people will be scared. But the people who know and who have education will be like, uh-oh, y'all listen, that's a clearance sale. And Eben, I think we and you talked about this before. I need people that start to invest. And
Mm-hmm.
part of learning to invest is also going to be part of the training in this nonprofit, because it's important. When the stock market drop, see that as a clearance. When you go and see these one day sales in the stores, or see these commercials, that's clearance. That's buying stuff on sale. So I'm going to give you an example. Nvidia in April dropped to like $79 or so. Because I've been educating my son, I was at work, he called me, he said, Mom, I heard the stock market drop. He knew to call me because he heard the market was dropping. And he wanted to know if I was going to buy him some stuff. It's important, because that stock doubled. It's been 5 months, double. If you would have put $5,000, bought $5,000 of that stock, that money would have doubled in 5 months. We cannot be scared of how we can make our money. Can make money. We have to be educated. So it's so important to have trusted people. Listen, I stand 10 toes down, bold and courageously, to say I am a trusted resource, and I'm building trusted networks. So
Oh,
it's
I'll stand
important.
behind you.
It's important,
Oh,
y'all.
I'll stand behind you. Um,
Mm-mm.
so you said that the team, you gotta have a lawyer. You have to
Yes.
have a lawyer, and you need a financial advisor. Is that
Yes.
is that everybody, or what else would you advise or say that they need to have?
You also need an accountant.
Oh, okay.
You must have it, because let me tell you something. Uncle Sam, y'all think y'all mad at Uncle Sam when you just work a job. Baby, the taxes from
Them big
I'm gonna
old
put this in the
sums
chat.
of
You said
money.
a lawyer, an accountant, a
somebody
Financial
with
advisor.
financial advisor.
yes, financial advisor, financial coach. Some people be like, oh, I don't want, listen, financial advisor or financial coach like myself, right? Who can provide guidance, because some people are educated enough to know, but they just want some guidance. They need, and that's where an advisor is going to want you to have ongoing. But if you say, you know what, I just want to do, and they all have different setups. So it's just about what it is that you need. But as a financial coach, having someone who can also help you put some things in place, a budget in place, a spending plan. I don't like to call it a budget. I call it a spending plan, because we're gonna spend. A lot of people don't say, I don't want a budget. I don't want you to control where my money going. So let's talk about spending plans, because we know you're gonna spend. But what's the plan for your spending? So yes, lawyer, accountant, a financial advisor, financial coach, um, those are essential. Those people are essential. And
Yeah.
then there's some other things that can come into play. Um, when it comes just over to overall representation. Like some people are entertaining, some athletes and some parents are looking at entertaining and are seeking out agents because of what their needs are. But a lot of times you can just have someone that's knowledgeable, who would be the one that would be the manager. And typically at this stage for high school athletes, it goes back to the head coach, because he stands in that gap of whether you get deals, whether these coaches see you, whether he's marketing you to coaches, or whether he's not and he's favoring somebody else, because coaches will do that. Truth be told, Coaches will favor somebody else. So you want to know you want to build a rapport with that head coach. You want to have a relationship with that head coach. Relationship building is essential in this game. Relationship building is essential in this game. I'm going to say it again, because their coaches should already be telling them, student athletes and parents, relationship building is essential. Coaches move all the time. Build relationships, trusted relationships.
I want to ask this question, because I guess this is where we're gonna go. I'm putting this in the chat. Um, so I made a statement. I said I feel like maybe you should move your son from that school into
Mm,
somewhere else.
mm-hmm,
Um, how important is that?
mm,
Because I feel like that school is holding on to him because that's the best thing that they have, but they're not. I'm
mm.
gonna say they're not like that either.
Okay.
So that was a conversation that I had. And so I guess the fear was, oh, well, we don't want to move. But I said, if you want that, because he's so much better, I think
Mm-hmm.
if you put him somewhere else, they can make him 10 times better than what he is and help
Okay.
him and give him more resources. So that was a statement that I made. So what would you say to that, me making that statement to?
I'm so glad you asked that, because me and my husband talk about this all the time, and he shares a lot of his insight. And we've had conversations with athletes in family about this same thing. And it's a case by case scenario. It's because it could be, well, number one, if a college wants you, it doesn't matter if you're on a losing team, they coming to get you.
Mm-hmm.
So that student athlete definitely needs to make sure he's doing he's executing his role. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's training. He's being um receptive of criticism, and he's working. He's marketing himself. He's putting himself out there and sending stuff. So that's essential that he does what he's supposed to do. It could be a losing team. You can still get recruited on a losing team. That's number one. Number two, I go back to, you want to know that the coach is out for your student's best interest, the athlete's best interest, because some coaches, and this is the truth, is about winning and about themselves. And when I say that, who don't want to win? That the athletes want to win too. But if you want to win at the cost of you winning so you can go to your next level only, and not making sure that these athletes are put in position, then who winning really? So you want to know, you trust that he is doing what's best for your athlete, that those coaches are doing what's best. If they are not, if they're not shopping and marketing you to these college recruiters, if that relationship and that communication isn't there, then something wrong. So it really really depends. In all honesty, Ebony, I would definitely, like, whoever that is, they need to talk to my husband. I'ma just be completely honest, because in the college football athletic recruitment process, oh, he been studying this stuff for years. All of that, and what position they could possibly play in college, like my husband can tell your athlete that, because he studies and he's been doing that for all these years. So that would be my recommendation, because it could be so many scenarios that can come into play. So you definitely need to be talking to somebody who will give you the real and share some insight, and who's knowledgeable.
I'm glad they opened that up because I know when my son was in school, even him switching high schools was a thing. Like they could get in trouble because they felt
Yes.
like the coaches was recruiting and they couldn't do that back then.
Yes. And
Like they
that's
couldn't recruit. They couldn't even in like a coach couldn't ask me anything about him, or if I talked to coaches, it was like wow. And I didn't. And again, to this day, I still really don't know a lot about football, but it's a
mhm,
lot of stuff that um I was like, what? They high school kids, they just playing high school, but like trying to switch him to schools, it would have
mhm.
been an issue. Like, oh, I would have had to actually say I lived it. Like they would have been investigating and stuff like that.
And
And I'm
that's
like,
still a thing, Misha. Like you got to be careful because a lot of coaches are trying to snatch their kids from other programs, and a lot of that can fall back on. And as you're being recruited by a college coach, they are looking at that kind of stuff, and they're going to ask, "Listen, I see you change schools every year. Can you talk to me a little bit about what was going on there?" Because they're trying to. Everybody that's on a college team is elite. That's why they pick and choose certain kids. So they want to know that you have a certain level of loyalty, even though these days it's like loyalty is like, what? It's not important to, unfortunately, but that's the narrative we have to change as parents, as leaders, to instill in these kids the importance of that and to command that from the people that they are playing for. But yes, it can be a lot of things. It may make sense. Kids have gone to another school and it made sense for them. So it has to make sense for the athlete, and it has to be something that's going to help them get to the next level, because at the end of the day, you can win football games. It's only one team that wins the state championship. All those kids on that team ain't getting recruited to college. Let's be honest. They're not. So we can that can be the goal, but my son and my nephew, they went on the state championship winning team. They in college. So we can't be fixated on that. We got to be fixated on how I get my student athlete who wants to go to the next level, who is talented enough to go to the next level. How do I get them there? Because let me tell y'all something that saddens me. When I think about all in Little League and youth football, when I think about all those Saturdays and some Sundays being on that football team, I mean, that football field, there were so many kids that were very talented. They're not in college playing football. Why? Some of them is because they didn't have the support, they didn't have the guidance, they didn't have, they were touted to be the best thing ever, and their head was so big that they couldn't take criticism, and they can't. And when you can't take criticism, trying to go play for a college coach, they're gonna be like, listen, everybody out here great. I know you was great in high school, but everybody out here great. So I need you to be, guess what? Receptive, level-headed, a student. It's called student athlete because you are in college. So you got to be a student. You got to be at least about your grades to an extent. I'm gonna say that because some schools don't even care.
I
But
was gonna ask that. How important is it for you to have good grades, and because again, it's like, yeah, you can be good at what you do, but if you can't even do the simple college work, because I know, we see that on TV where they used to let other people do college kids assignments and stuff, but they don't do that no more. So it's very important for you to also be a good student, right? You can't
yes,
just, so even in high school, middle school, like you need to make sure that you at least smart enough to even get in college, right? Because you still have
yes,
to be
you still
accepted.
got to
you have
take
to
them
have a certain,
tests.
yes, you
Mm-hmm.
go back to that what you just said. You have to be accepted into
Mm-hmm.
the school, which means you have to meet the criteria of the admissions requirement into that school. Now, there are some things that they can do athletically, but honey, if you don't have the GPA to get
If
into
you
that
can't
school,
test the test scores of the
if
school,
you some schools, Misha, that's a good point. Some schools don't look at SAT and ACT. They don't.
they look.
It's okay.
They
They don't even take them anymore. Some schools, but that's something you need to know. Does my school require me to have a certain SAT score? What is that score? And the other thing is, maybe they don't require it. But Misha, guess what people forget? There are scholarships
mm-hmm. They're
you
required.
are still eligible for because it's an academic scholarship at that school. And that SAT score may qualify you, not just I got a fully college collegiate athletic scholarship, but I also am eligible for this. That's where that education piece comes in as well. Like, don't leave money on the table. We're not leaving money on the table. So yes, you got to be a student. Your grades got to be in order.
I want to make a real quick point. So y'all remember, y'all know I'm a movie buff. Remember in higher learning, when
Mm-hmm.
Omar Epps had the
Girl,
full
that's one of
ride,
my
and then they
favorites.
snatched his scholarship and gave him
Mm.
partial, and he wanted the full scholarship, and the coach was like, "You need to show me that you deserve the full scholarship." But he had a partial scholarship, and he was almost about to get kicked out because one, his attitude, his cockiness, and then he wasn't doing what he was required to do to keep the scholarship, right? And
Yeah.
so it goes back into me even thinking about, because I do make that statement all the time. Like I said, I guess because I'm the auntie and they like, oh, you think you know everything? No. At the end of the day, I love all y'all. So I've always had every last one of y'all interests, best interest at heart since I was a teenager. Let's be
Yes, you
real.
have.
But I'm speaking facts. So if you don't like the facts that I'm speaking, and right now, I like I said, I sent it to him. So if y'all don't like the facts that I'm speaking, but I'm speaking on behalf of y'all. It is, and I said that it's important because they also need to, like, if your baby's struggling, get him a tutor. If your
Yes.
baby's struggling, go and y'all need to sit down with him and make sure that his grades and his reading and in this, because I know I said that and I was told, well, no, they're gonna make sure. No,
No.
I was like, you saying they? No, you need to. Because
Yes.
what if he does get a scholarship, but it's only half scholarship? You ain't
Yes.
got no money to pay for it, right? Because
Right.
that happens, right? He
Yes.
good, but they might not give him full scholarship, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to know because, like I said,
You
my
not
kids ain't
off
no
base.
sports. They on the academic, like we was the academic, so I'm cool with the academics. I know the
It's
sports thing I'm not
yeah.
familiar with, so I'm asking questions like I'm
That
the parent because sometimes I got to be the parent, so I'm asking questions I need to know. So
Uh-uh,
now when I go back
that
to you, I'm just
You
that
like,
was my
are.
thing
I need
with
you to
my
listen.
son. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you like sports, but we need to get this
Okay.
these grades right. And I never
Yes.
had a problem with him because he was very smart, gifted.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, yeah, because at the end of the day, this sports is gonna stop maybe one day, and God forbid,
Yes.
and it did. He got hurt playing football, but you
Mm-hmm.
still had your academic scholarship that you could
Right.
continue to go. I mean, even with him having that athletic scholarship, that helped him because he got hurt there.
Mm-hmm.
But just a lot of these kids, I know, like for him in high school, I used to tell them that all the time. I get you, like they had to make a certain thing even in high school. They wanted to meet a certain standard in high school before they
Right.
even went to college. But in
Right.
my mind, I'm like, you need to give your body a break. Y'all getting hit. Yeah, y'all young and y'all bounce back. But then when you go to college, you finna get hit. Like, give your body a break. He was like, no, mom, but I gotta hit stats and quotes and you know. So then I'm like, okay, so if something happened to you in college, then what you gonna do if you don't have the education?
Yeah.
And even with that, I remember him getting awards for football, and my auntie was like, "Oh, he's smart. Why y'all ain't give him an actor?" She like going on. I'm like, auntie, what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
ain't just a sports thing.
That's right.
My baby's smart too, and y'all need to
That's right.
acknowledge that. But
That's
yeah,
right.
like that was my all. You gonna have a backup because
Mm-hmm.
sports to me, and they be like, oh, you don't have a plan B. No, I get you shouldn't probably maybe the plan B is like saying you gonna fail, but at the end of the day, no, I need you to be smart enough to know if this football thing don't work, then you know how to go make it do what it do somewhere else.
Right.
So
She
That was a
just
requirement for me. Like when my kids in youth ball, it's been the games that they ain't playing. They was begging my husband. My husband was like, His mom said they, because I'm not playing. Listen, you want to play football. I want you to get a college education so that you can hone on the skills that you want to hone, so that you can be the professional in whatever area you want to be in. If you want to play football, that's all great. This is the criteria. So Misha, yes, Edmund and partial scholarships, yes, they are a thing, and it can be made up with academic
and
scholarship.
it's
So
this
you are on it.
it depends on the school too, because each school, this is what I found out.
Mm-hmm.
Each school in each state, like state, if you stay in state or something, is cheaper, or if you go out of
Mm-hmm.
state, one or the other, go out of state is cheaper, something.
In state.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it depends on where they go to school at. So that scholarship they have may cover it. It becomes partial if they go to a school that is more than what the scholarship is for, I guess, or something into that kind of thing. So you have to depend, because when my son left, he went to a school in Ohio. It was a private school. When COVID came, that school shut down, and he was getting a scholarship, but we still, well, I ain't have to pay. My daddy paid for him to go because he wanted to. So my
Shout
daddy
out to
paid,
them granddaddies, them
yeah, my
grandparents.
daddy paid. He was like, no, we paying. He gonna go. Because
That's
at first
good.
my son was like, no, I want y'all to have to pay. But my dad's like, no, that's where you gonna go. You gonna go there. Then when that school shut down during COVID, that school did help him go to a different school that he actually graduated from. When he
Mm-hmm.
got there, we didn't have to pay a dime. Same
Because the
scholarship switched
cost,
over, yeah, because of the
the
cost of the
cost of
school.
this.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have to figure out what school you're going to, and then your scholarships. If you got a 50,000, just say $50,000 scholarship, but the school costs 100,000, you're gonna have to pay that difference.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you got to look at too. How much does
Yes.
this school and what your program, the program you're
Yes.
going for, cost? Because different
Yes.
programs going to be different amounts because you're going to do different things in there.
Right.
Different schools cost different amounts. You would think that the same school doing the same program or different schools doing the same program gonna cost the same
Mm-mm.
amount. No, you can go
Mm-hmm.
get your bachelor's in business in Florida and pay 25. You go
Yep.
to Miami or you go to Georgia, you gonna pay 55. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing people need to look at, and I didn't know that.
Yes, that's
And then
important
like
to
stuff
compare.
now that my son's out of school, like I'm starting to understand it now. Like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's what that was. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they transferred him to a school, and I'm like, well, shoot, you should have came to this school first.
From the beginning, huh?
Yeah.
It's and so like I said, and I found that out with Kenya. So Kenya got like it's Kenya, my baby. She applied to 7 colleges, right? She didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
do all these. She's her top 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told her I need you to have A, B, C, D. Like let's go, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Her first choice is Penn State. Her second choice was no, her first choice was Mississippi State. Her
Mm-hmm.
second choice was Penn. Um, then she chose Georgia Tech.
Penn State was
Um,
that was a neat school.
it was Georgia Tech. It was then she did FSU. Um,
Bless
Thank you.
what's the school? Orlando.
Oh, the Polytech? No, that's not
Mm-mm.
Orlando.
What
UCF?
is it? UCF.
UCF.
UCF. Then she chose UF and USF. Right. So Penn State was out of the question. Let's just go there.
they expensive.
So she had a full ride. She had a full ride to Mississippi State
Mm-hmm.
for them. So they was giving her what 50, I think it was like 55 a year. But then because she was an out of state student, the cost was 80 some thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wait, what? So I was like, okay, so we got to foot the rest of this bill, even though they saying that it's a full scholarship, we had to pay the
Mm-hmm.
rest.
Or find some other scholarships.
Yeah, and so I
Yeah.
said, no, thank you, is what I said. No,
That's why
thank
it's
you. So
important. It's why it's
yes,
important to keep them grades up, do the SAT, regardless of if the school you want requires, because there are other scholarships that you may be able to apply for to make up the difference. So you have to ensure whether you are athlete or not. If your student want to go to college, they could be a well shoot. Well, I was going to say some other sports that you could that they
I
look
just
at.
learned
It doesn't
Baton
matter
got
what
Baton
programs
has
you're trying to go into.
scholarships. You do Baton. You do like the
Yes,
dance thing. I didn't know all of them had. I
yes, that's
thought
what I was trying to think
honestly,
of,
I'm
like
gonna
in
tell you, I was
dancing.
really ignorant. I thought it was just football, basketball, and baseball.
Right.
Now, what I can say, if you do baseball, is what I was told now. Like I should have had him do more baseball.
Mm-hmm.
If they do go pro with baseball, you like the pay is better and all that kind of stuff if you don't play compared to football. After football, you
Yes.
only get a certain amount. So
Yeah.
while these parents always talking about, oh, football,
Football, baseball is.
baseball is better by what I told paying wise.
Mm-hmm.
So if your kid can do baseball, and
Mm-hmm.
if I would have known that,
Yes.
I would have made my son do baseball instead of football. Then after he
Misha,
get
that's
in
so
school,
you so on it.
he
Thank you
telling
for
me like,
saying
"Oh,
that,
ma, I
girl.
only did football really because I wanted it to pay for college, so y'all didn't have
Yep.
to pay so much money." So he
Mm-hmm.
don't even really he liked football and he was into it, but he was into it enough to get through for them to pay for schooling. But
Right.
I'm like, boy, it's other stuff you could have did to pay for schooling. But I mean, that was something he liked to do too. But so yeah, yeah, and then these parents, I'm noticing even in PAL,
Mm-hmm.
Because when you know it's the parents, when coaches are getting killed on the pal, it's pal. These are kids that's just out here running around. Half of them ain't paying no attention. Y'all parents are putting too much
Yeah.
on these kids. Like, if that's not what they want to do, don't make them do that. If your kid want to be a computer science, let them
Um,
be technology, because technology
yes.
now is outweighing football. You know
Yes. And
what I'm
it's
saying?
a
Technology,
need.
yeah. So, and
It's
I
such
have a
a
little
need.
niece. My
Goodness
little niece,
gracious.
she'll tell somebody quick, I'm going to be a scientist. I don't care
Yes.
who she, and they be like, oh, you
Come
gonna be
on,
a doctor?
baby.
No, I'm gonna be a scientist.
Come on, baby.
So, and I tell people that too, like, even with my kids, like, I used to ask them all the time, okay, in middle school, I started in middle school, start thinking about what you want to be, because them high school years are going to go by fast. And that's what a lot of these kids are doing. They're
Yeah.
going to college, but it's not really what they thought it was going to be. Or they don't know what they want to be. They don't know
And
what they
it'll
want to do.
change because you know
Yeah, it's
sometimes
going to
it'll, as you get older it'll change, but you've
change.
instilled, you planted a seed for them to start thinking
Thinking. Yeah.
along those lines, and things will change as you get exposure. And it goes
Right.
back
To
to the
different stuff.
importance of having that exposure. Stop fixating them on, no, you doing this and this only. Like, why? Maybe they're
Right.
not gifted to do that.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
it's not. And it's important. Going, I see Eben and Philip said it's what the student can do for the school, not what the school can do for the students. That is so true, because let me tell you, so I do interview coaching. Part of the one of the services, or one of the programs I do, is interview coaching for student athletes. And that is the first thing throughout that coaching. I do them as a group or one-on-one VIP if you just need one-on-one time. But one of the things throughout that session that I instill in them, that is that you are the asset. Listen, the school wants you. Okay? The school wants you. So make sure what it is that you want, you going to that school because you're going to get it. You are the asset, and you have to be in these interviews like that, with that mentality that I am the asset. So when a coach says, or when a trainer says, or when the recruiter says this and it is not clicking, but the money sound right, listen, you the asset. Money is a tool. You are the asset, and you are going to be the best you, where you're wanting, where you can shine, and where you want to be. It's plenty kids that done chase the big NIL deal, or the big check, and they hit in the portal, or they hit the portal because they was like, oh, this school. And this is one of the things that my husband, which I said before, this college recruitment process is something that my husband has, like, he done got this thing down to a science. Because if you go pick a school just because how much money they gonna pay you, and you get there and you don't like the culture, you don't like the coaches, you don't like the climate, and you can't do the things that you wanted to do, you're gonna be miserable and you ain't gonna stay there long. And that
Mm-hmm.
school you wanted to go to gonna already be, they done picked their person
A
for that
person.
position, and now
Yeah.
you stuck.
And
And who
then
wants to be?
they gotta think too, because I didn't know that coaches changed. So the coaches that got my son there, like a couple of months later, left. So now
Yes,
what they promised him, these other
yes.
coaches is like,
It
nah, we
happened to my
ain't
son.
doing
I know
that. Like, we
personally.
ain't doing. I'm like, well,
Yes,
how they just gonna leave? Because
yes,
again, they're doing what's best for them. If they get a
yes.
school that pays them better, they're doing that. And I know you spoke on something else that's a really big thing to me. Like, yeah, I understand these kids are assets,
Mm-hmm.
but I want these kids too to understand, don't get confidence, don't cross the line to go to being conceited,
Conceited and
because
uh-huh.
these coaches, they'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you quick. And I, when my son, they introduce, when you going on these little college tours,
Mm-hmm.
the coach said in my face, he said, ma'am, I'm gonna tell you, he said, I would take a child that don't know how to play football but will listen to me over a
Yeah.
child that is the best in the nation and won't listen. He said, I can't
Yes.
coach a child that won't listen. So y'all kids that know y'all, everybody telling y'all the best in college, I mean in high school, in middle
Right.
school, high school, and then y'all go to these colleges, like you said, everybody that
Mm-hmm.
comes there is good. So to
Mm-hmm.
you ain't nobody to them.
Mm-hmm.
You somebody in middle school and you somebody in high school. But when you
Mm-hmm.
cross to that college, you better lose that attitude, because
Mm-hmm.
the coach will sit you. Yeah, you done
Sit you
played
down.
middle school and high school, but you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
benched come college, because they not gonna deal with the attitude at
That
all.
humble pie.
Because
They gonna get a
they
piece.
done hired, or they done selected two quarterbacks or two running backs or three
Yep.
running backs. So they'll sit you and coach the one that will listen to them to get them
Facts.
to where you are, because they
Facts,
will
Misha.
do that.
Facts.
So that
And
that
you
coach
keep
told me
and
that.
you keep sharing that because part of the issue is a lot of these kids need some humble pie.
Mm-hmm.
Truth be told, you got to be careful and tell them. Like, I was always careful with my son. Like, you did good. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But I want you to think about the things you can work on. It is so. It's a reason that God said to shine your light and make sure it's okay to celebrate your wins. It's okay to celebrate in you using the giftings I gave you. But honey, when you come and when you start being boastful, uh, that ain't humble. Because he
Right.
also called you to be humble. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these kids need a piece of humble pie. So you can know you the asset, but you can be humble. Jesus was the example of that. He know who he was. Athlete Bible study. I do that as well because God said you ain't gonna just talk about finance, you're gonna give them my word. They
And
need
that's
humble pie.
and y'all, like I said, when I see
Mm-hmm.
Anthony on when he's doing his interviews and he talks about God, and I always text Kayla, I be like, Kayla, you did it, girl, because I always send
Yes,
her hearts and
yes,
stars. I'm like, girl, you did that.
yes,
Because again, he knows who he is.
yes,
He knows or what he's capable of,
yes,
but he also knows who got him there.
yes,
Yeah, my mama helped me, but it was God, and he
yes,
always references the Father. So I
yes.
appreciate that. And I was gonna say this because we was talking about school, and when you said that, it is like my brother says about what you can do for the school. And like I said, I know Kenya's not an athlete, but when I was saying that, even with the scholarships,
Mm-hmm.
because you might not do great there, right?
Right.
So even for her, she went with what she chose for us. Like you say, she was miserable. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but throughout the process, like you say, the schools, if they want you, they're gonna come for you. So
Yes.
we did like, and I'm telling this story because this is what happened to her. We filled out, she only filled out the seven. She didn't want to do all these other things, right? She got the scholarships wherever she needed them. She got accepted, except for Georgia Tech, which is where she wanted to go. I think I was talking to Kayla about, I say she was so hurt. Georgia Tech did not accept her, but they told her go here. They told us do this. They said just do FSU or USF, and then for
Transfer.
2 years and then transfer in, right? So okay, so then she decided to go to FAM on the
Mm-hmm.
whim that she thought that that's what we wanted to do, but I thought that's where she wanted to go. So she
Mm-hmm.
did the dual enrollment
Mm-hmm.
and she hated it. So then I started going back and looking. I was like, okay, well, these are the places that you chose. And I said, you didn't have to choose that. We went and I remember she got this box. She got this big old giant box during her application period, and it was from Embry Riddle, and they gave her a free ride. But Kenya was
Mm-hmm.
like, I never even applied to them. They man, it was so much stuff in there. It was like shirts and all that. They was like, you've been accepted. I remember we showed it to Shell, and Shell was excited, but it was aerospace. And
Mm-hmm.
so Kenya was like, I never even applied to them, so I don't even know why they sending me this. So
Mm-hmm.
we noticed that she started getting acceptance letters to other schools that she never even applied to. And so they were trying to get her full rides. And I said, and I started looking back now, telling her where you decided to go and where you thought we wanted you to go, you were miserable at, right? But these other schools wanted you, which means that you probably would have had the help had we pushed that issue, if that makes sense. And so
Yes.
now that she's back home, we're literally fighting. I'm gonna say it. We fighting with FAMU about getting her stuff done. So now she's waiting to go to USF in January because they didn't do what they were supposed to do and send the information and all that. So I had to go off. Yeah, I had to send a little nasty little letter and all this other stuff because I need y'all to get together. Us,
Yes.
because right now since y'all us want to be us, then I'm gonna be us too, and that's how I had to talk to him. And so now they finally got her stuff, so she got to wait till January to go to USF. But the USF admissions office helped her get, this is what I found funny. They helped her get into HCC to take the rest of her core classes, and they are constantly calling her, are you signed up? Are you this? And I'm like, I said, well, who is that? She was like, the dude from USF. And I was like, oh, they do that? I didn't know they
Mm-hmm.
do that. Never had that before. And so I
Yeah.
said, you're right. It's all about in what you do. But you also, like I told her, the crazy part is I'm glad that we had a backup for the backup for the backup for the backup. Because like you said, now we're going into the athletes. Okay, so like she said, say you play and then you get hurt and now you can't play. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Or say you make it to your 4 years of college, you get into the NFL and now you hurt
Mm-hmm.
and now your career is over.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
Like what you do? Now you don't
Right.
spend all your money because you didn't have an advisor, you didn't have an accountant. Now you broke.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you gonna do? Now
Right.
you ain't got no education. You didn't do what you were supposed to do, and now you got to go like you don't have a backup for the backup.
Right. And then if we take it personally, like to that athlete on a personal level, now they are broken.
Yeah, they broke and broken.
They're
'Cause
broke and
their
broken
feelings hurt.
because yes, they tied all of who they were to the
Yeah.
gift and talents God gave them. It's so important to have strategy, because Evan, what you just talked about is now what you're realizing is strategy is important. I don't care if they're student athletes or just or students who want to go collegiate students and they're not athletes. Strategy is everything, and you are an asset when you are applying. My thing is this: I don't care what you're applying for. If you are applying for something, if there's something where someone has to recruit you, your mentality must be, I'm the asset. Mindset moves mountains, about shifting mentalities. You are the asset. I don't care what it is. If you have to apply, you're the asset because they need you. And you should have strategy. They got a strategy. They go through all of this. And does she check this? Does he check this? That what's your strategy? We have to also have strategies. We have to make sure these athletes or these college future college students know that okay, this may be your career path. What's the strategy? What are the classes you need to take? Who are the people who are going to advocate for you at that school? Whether they coaches, whether they're people in the admissions office, you need advocates. And let them show you, can you trust them? And you can trust them if they advocate, like with the counselor at USF that's calling her.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you? Mm-hmm. Now
And
that's showing her that that's the caliber. Look, if you ain't doing that, like where I'm at,
and
And
I'm in the
another
right
thing,
place.
and
hold
this,
on, wait. Let me say this too. The good part is because um I don't know because the engineering program. So
Mm-hmm.
remember because when we talked about it, I was like, oh, we used to partner with Strive. They
Mm-hmm.
remember. And they
Mm.
was like, and I said, yeah, we had the incubator, the lab in the incubator, and he was like,
That's right, Ebony. You
oh,
was, yeah, and they remembered that. Come on, that's
and
what.
that's what I was saying because they knew you were already an engineering student. So
Mm-hmm.
now I know you. I see
Yes,
what you can do. I
yes,
see where we can take you. And
yes,
you are already familiar. And I said, well, she already familiar with the lab. We had the little office in the incubator.
yes,
And they was like, what? And I told them, they was like, oh, COI, and I said, yeah,
yeah,
that's us. And so, because she's still there.
yeah.
We still there.
Exposure,
Right. Yeah.
relationship. What I said, relationship building is everything. Relationship building is everything because you never know. The more we expose our youth to, whether they go to college on an academic scholarship or athletic scholarship, the more people we expose them to, more programs we expose them to, the more they build relationships. Now you can trust these people because you know them, and they know you because they know you have been groomed, you have been educated, you have been warmed, and you like relationship building is everything. It's everything. So and having a strategy in mind, because sometimes we get it wrong, but thank God for guidance and people we can trust who can circle us back, refocus us. Because Ebony, you started off asking this question, what's this NIL? Because I be hearing parents saying, I got to get my son an NIL deal. That's a distraction. If
yep.
you focus on an NIL deal, that's a distraction. And that is bait that the sharks can put in your face and dangle it, and they know you're going to come running. You cannot be distracted by money. Money is a tool. And our gifts and our talents, God say, will make room. It'll make room for us. So why is we fixated on money when we need to be fixated on strategy, relationship building to put our kids in the best position? But just in case something happened, like Misha mentioned, and I went through, coaches change all the time and they changing real quick these days. Things
And
can be shifted, pivots are pivoting. And if you don't have a strategy in place and relationship building, when you have to pivot your child and then take it back to USF and say, oh, I remember you, relationship building is everything. And you got to be receptive, humble, and you got to be around people you trust or get in touch with people you trust who can guide you, because this thing for our youth, like they need us, y'all. They need all of this that we talking about, everything y'all sharing, and they need all these experiences that weren't good.
And another strategy, a part of it that my son just told me too, that I didn't think of, but it makes sense when he said it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the school that you pick to determine wherever the school at, determine if that's where you really want to stay.
Oh yes, my husband
Because
say that all the time. Do you see yourself
um
playing if you don't play sports no more? Do you
yeah,
see
if
yourself
that's where you stay,
staying?
because after
Yes.
because the school he graduated from, where it's a well-known school in Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
but Florida don't know that school.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he got a good degree, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like Florida, like, well, who are they? Like, we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but like Florida knows USF. Florida knows these big, that we got big name schools here, or if real popular names. So like one of his other friends went back home with his degree, but can't, nobody really, it's almost like you don't have a degree in some states. So like, because you got it from a different state and that school is not
Yes.
prevalent in that state. So my son telling him like, hey, I bet if you come back up here, you'll get a job, because bro, I'm getting all kind of jobs up here where we got our degree at. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing you got to look into, like
Yes.
different when you if you get a he went out of state, because my son always said, he said, Ma, I don't want to go to a HBCU. I know who I am, but and I know if I go there, like what kind of environment I'm. He knew that
Yeah,
for
and this
himself.
he knew for
So
himself.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, because that's what I wanted. I wanted you to go to the All Black. He was like, nah, Ma, I can't do that. I can't do it. And I'm like, okay. And so
Yeah.
he went up north
Mm-hmm.
with the other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's who, like, I can't, they help him. I mean, and
Yes.
they look out for him. Like, and again, like he up there now and he's getting all kind of, he get all kind of jobs up there. But then when he
Right.
come to Florida and tried to get a job with that degree, it was hard for him to get. Just
That's
it's a degree, but because they don't really know the school, so
the
it's like, oh,
school.
how we know this school taught you well,
And that's
it didn't
that's a good point. That strategy, because you need to. What do you want to do? It goes back to Misha. What you've been instilling in your kids. Start thinking about what you want to do, because part of your strategy, your arsenal, right, has to be in this school. Where are their connections? What corporations? That's one of the things that I ask when we are on these college recruiting visits. Like, what corporations, when you talk
y'all
about that you are able
with
to help these kids with internships, what schools are you connected with? I mean, what corporations are you connected with? Because that makes a difference when they go into the marketplace, when they start looking for a job or profession in the area they're interested in. Are they going to be able to get in that with this degree? So
and in
that's really
this area
good.
now you need to
And
ask
this,
in this area, because
mm-hmm,
I'm thinking, okay, he going to college and he just got a bachelor's, he'll be fine wherever.
that's a
But
good
he
point.
came to Florida and his degree didn't mean nothing really. Like, it
Right.
was hard for him. But and he packed up his car. He came home after he graduated. Um, I mean, applied for a lot of jobs here in Florida, didn't. And so he
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, I'm just going to start applying for jobs back up there. And they just calling him back to back because they saw where he
Wait.
packed up his car and went back. I said, well, where you going to stay? He told my mom, if I got to live in my car for 2 weeks or whatever until I get me some checks,
Wow.
to get my own apartment. And that's basically what he did to a certain degree. He went and stayed with a friend. 2 weeks later, like, he got his 2 checks, saved the money to put a deposit. He ain't had no furniture, but he
I
was like,
love
I
it.
get me a little bed and I'm gonna make it work, ma. And my baby up there making it work. And I'm
I
down here
love it.
like, like, I'm proud of him because he made
Yes.
it happen. Like, he got it, and and he's one too. He's like, oh, they gonna pay me what I'm worth. I don't went to school for 4 years. Like, cause I told him when he was saying, I'm like, son, well, just go to work at Checkers or something until you find what you want. He was like, Ma, I ain't go to school for 4 years. He said, I ain't trying to be funny. But I ain't go to school for 4 years to get my bachelor's to go work at Checkers. I'm sorry. He said,
He's determined.
and
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
but
I
some
love
money
that.
is better than no money. He was like, I get it. He said that if it just come to that, then yeah. But right now, he said I didn't just do 4 years to go work at Checkers. They finna pay me what these 4 years was a lot for me, Mom. I was
What's your
like,
son's name?
Javion Hanner.
Javion. Shout out to Javion. A determined. That's who I like. Let me tell you something. I love those determined because, honey, I was one. I
Yeah,
was determined to get to everywhere I wanted to get, to do what I wanted to do, and not to be, oh, you just a little girl from Wild Mama. Baby, I can show
yeah.
you, but then I can tell you. That determination, that right
It's
there,
getting him
he need to
because he
ball it
just
up.
got another job. He started a new job not too long ago. I think he done probably been there 2 months, and the man already saying, "Oh, you picked this up easy." He was
Mm,
like, "Oh yeah, you will be in you. We finna train you to be a manager." Like, and that's what he went to school for, business management or something like
uh-huh.
that. So like having his own facility or whatever, um, own building or whatever, however you call it. And he's only been for the company for 2 months. And he stayed with another company for 2 years that was supposed to be doing the same thing for him. And now
Hmm.
he done changed companies and been for them for 2 months. And they finna make him like they already finna train him to be a manager to run his own shop or own store or whatever it is.
Shout
So
out to him.
and then want him to start
Spotlight.
like going different stores and training people. They was like, you pick up this so fast. But that's one thing, like, I'm like, when I tell you, and they be like, Mom, you so extra. No, y'all just don't understand. I was a single parent. Yeah, I had my mama, my auntie. But at the end of the day, like, to be a single parent, like, and I was a teen mom.
Mhm.
So I didn't know. I'm depending on other people, to help me. I wasn't the best. So to know that y'all are doing better than me, you done went to high school, you got your high school diploma, you got your college degree. I have a degree, a diploma, it's a technical, but college is something to me is way different than what I got. So for you to do that, and not only him, my daughter too, like, she did just that. I didn't think she would even go to college, but I kept saying, like, if that's not what you want, you can go to a technical school, where you
That-
can. She was like, no, when she got out of high school, she still didn't know what she wanted to do. Went to college and she went to TCC. She wanted to go to FAM. I'm like, listen, I'm not paying for you to go to FAM. I'm telling you right now, because you didn't even like high school. You go to a community college for 2 years, and if I see you do good in there, then I'll send you to FAM.
That's a,
Because you want
that's
to
a
go
good point.
with your friends. But no, and she went to TCC. She
Hmm.
graduated. She just got her associates, and now my cousin is helping her find a school that she can do online to get her bachelor's in psychology. And
That's
I would have never thought this girl was going to know nobody's school after high
that.
school.
Shout out to you too, Misha. Because let me tell you something. It's a lot of parents who may want, like you. You're saying, like, listen, I want y'all to shoot for the stars. Like, I want you to do better than me. I want you to, obtain all these things that you want to obtain. But I do know you. And it's okay. Some parents don't know it's okay to have them go to because that's Tallahassee Community
Community.
College.
Mm-hmm.
TCC, it's okay to go to the community college. Let me make sure this, these training wheels is off, and I know that you good, you can maintain yourself, and then take that and then transfer over. That is okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes parents, because sometimes I have to speak to myself as well. Pipe down, pipe down, pipe down, pipe down. It's you won't have to calm down sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because it's okay to shoot for the stars, but no, you know what? Let me make sure you good. Set them up for success. And if
Mm-hmm.
that means going to the community college, baby, it's
And I
okay.
say you in Tallahassee with your friends, so y'all can still you trying to go because all them wanted to go to FAMU. Yes, some of them got in. I don't know if all of them got in. I know one of them did, and she did graduate from there. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's a
okay, you go
strategy.
to
Going back to the
TCC, y'all
strategies.
gonna all be in Tallahassee, so y'all want to hang out. Y'all can still all hang out.
Yes.
Like,
A
but no,
lot of people when we were at FAM, when
I'm
I
not
was
doing
at
that.
FAM, did that. They went to TCC and then transferred. There is nothing
Yeah,
wrong.
not going because you didn't even like to get up for high school. So baby, you got to show me this one. Like show me because I'm not gonna and I know you. Like I know
Right.
you're my child. But I
Hmm.
am proud of her too because even with knowing, thinking that she wouldn't even go to college, the fact that she
Right.
wanted to go to FAM was a good step for me. But at the end of the day, no, show me TCC and she did her 4 years and now she finished. So I'm proud of her too. Like both of my kids, like I'm very proud parent. Like I'm about to
You
cry
should
because I'm
be.
so proud of them.
Don't you
So
should be.
yeah.
And if you do cry, it's okay, honey, because
You put in the
listen,
work.
you
You
put
put in
in
the
the
work.
work. Congratulations to you too,
Yes.
mama.
I
Don't
wanna
shortchange yourself.
yeah, never.
Mm-mm.
And so we are all talking and we all on the same page. And so this is what I was gonna say because we was talking about being humble. And I say this a lot. And like I said, I know they tired of me or whatever, but I don't care. I love y'all. I
Girl, me
love my
too.
nieces.
I
I
don't care
love
if
my
you're tired of me.
nephews. And again, I want to see all of my nieces and nephews
Yes.
successful. And so I made a statement and I said, it's okay to think that you are that person, right?
Yeah.
But I need you to also be humble enough
Mm-hmm.
to know that there are a million people that are probably better than you. You
Mm-hmm.
might be
Mm-hmm.
that person where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, and that goes back into what I say about having a backup for the backup. Yeah, you might get that college scholarship, but everybody that goes to college playing sports don't get drafted,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I say that a lot. So, and again, and that's why I'm stressing what's the backup for the backup? Because even for
Mm-hmm.
her, because while she's mentioning her son got his degree and
Mm-hmm.
he lost his I mean he stopped playing, he got hurt, so he couldn't
Right.
play anymore. So he had a backup for the backup. But I also need parents to understand that too.
Yeah.
And we just stress that if they don't make it, if they go to college but don't make it into the pros,
Mm-hmm.
again, are you instilling in your child that it's okay because
Yes.
you don't
Right.
make it to the pros? So I need you to know, this education that you finna get can't be wasted.
Mm-mm.
Like, don't be wasting these people money.
Mm-mm.
Like,
And
they
Nope.
don't
giving it
waste
to
your
you, do something with
Time
it.
and
yeah.
money.
And don't
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
waste yeah,
Four
don't
years of
waste
your
that
time doing
opportunity.
nothing. Yeah. Like you just gonna get some, well, I don't really want to work hard. I'm just gonna get some minor or simple because I don't want to do it. No, use whatever scholarship that you have because again, it's all money. Use it to
Your
benefit
advantage.
you in the
Mm-hmm.
long run. In the long run, use it to benefit you because again, just because you make it into the school or you popular in your area, it's a million kids trying to get to where
That
you
look
at.
like yes.
So the
But
chances are slim to not. Everybody don't make it pro.
Right. And even
Everybody
if
don't
they
even get to
do,
get a college scholarship.
even if exactly, even if they do make it pro. So let's take it because most young boys playing a sport want to go to the NBA. That's their dream. NBA, NFL, not everybody gonna make it. But let's say you do. That
Mhm.
time still is short. A lot of when they retire, you still what you retiring, you what, 30, 40? You young. What you gonna
mm-hmm.
do? You still need
That's
skills. You still need something that you can fall back on and then go into whatever that is. Because Misha, just like you said, everybody ain't picking up, everybody ain't playing a sport. Guess what? The NFL and the NBA and the NHL and all of these sports, they need somebody that can run the boards. Technically,
mm-hmm.
they need an analyst. They need somebody who love to run their mouth and can sit here and broadcast and go back and forth and call a game. They need somebody to cut that grass, to cut that field. They need somebody that can lay the every game, the mark the field, whatever they do to mark the
Yeah, the
field.
look. Mm-hmm.
They need somebody to do all of those things.
And they
Somebody,
giving water
and they
boys
pay good.
for yeah, get paid. I need to
I'm
come to
Referees,
saying
your
the
y'all
water
know how
boys
much
get
the
paid
referees.
water
more than
boys
most
get
people.
paid.
Do y'all know how much referees get paid? Because I was mind boggling. I said we need to tell these children they can do more than just
It's
play
like
the sport.
$100 or something. I
A
know
hundred
with
thousand
some
a year, six figures.
that's
Girl,
Referees in the
NFL.
NFL get
Oh,
six
for the
figures.
NFL, but they need
Yeah,
it, and they can start now because I think referees now like get paid $100 and some dollars a game. Start getting that
yeah.
experience.
And I
A
was gonna
hundred
go
and
there.
some
Boom,
dollars a
Misha.
game or
Right
something.
now, you can go be a
Yeah,
ref and get paid just as good
right.
as
And
somebody that's and be
and that's
around the
something
game.
you gonna take. Yeah, you gonna have to learn too and pick up. Like do all of that. And I want to say since we talking about humble, like um these kids, it's I don't know if everybody watch because I don't watch sports. The only reason I know because he from here, but the young boy that got drafted to
The
what is it,
Bucks,
Atlanta Falcons,
Atlanta.
Michael Penix.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah,
boys played with them.
he
Played with them.
from he yeah, he's from here too. Humble.
Hmm.
When I
Very.
say humble kid, like
Yes.
that's somebody, if y'all kids want to look at somebody that's got drafted that's from a little town, but he did that too. Little towns here didn't, so he moved to where he could flourish. You know what I'm saying? And now that he got drafted, he's humble. You know what I'm saying? But he's still humble. He's still the same, you know, nice, respectable young boy that he was, he was here.
Sorry, y'all.
So no, Emily bust start laughing, so I'm laughing. I don't even know what I'm
Why is that? I
laughing
was
for.
like, I told you I'm on the podcast, babe.
Yeah,
Sorry, y'all.
so but yeah, that to me, like, because I can see some people changing, but he has parents. His parents
His
like
listen.
on 100 and keep, like how you
Yes.
said, they got the coaches, they got the people that making sure he spends money. Like, he's humble. It's not like he
Yes.
just out here. And he come back and also did a little football camp for the community.
Yeah.
That's what I like. So you kids got to be, again, humble, because like I say, these coaches don't care because you good. Like, they want your, it's more so your spirit, like,
Mm-hmm.
what type of listener you are, what type
Mm-hmm.
of athlete you going, or player can you be. Can I just talk to you without you? Oh, I ain't gotta listen to you, I know what I'm doing, like, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Am I gonna have to go get extra lawyers? Am I gonna have to see you on TMZ? Am I gonna
Yeah.
have to see? They all
Are you
want
gonna
them
cost?
all
Yeah,
the
are you gonna cost
problems.
my team? Are we gonna
Yes.
always be in the news dealing with you? Cause
Yep.
you out here drinking at a party and you
Right.
know, putting your hands on people, getting
Right.
all these charges. Like, they will quickly, because they don't want that type of spotlight.
Mm-mm.
So
They'll cut
yeah.
you real quick. What?
Mm-hmm.
And they need this. They need to know this now. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a fine line between making sure you are built up to know that you listen, you are an asset, to listen, you're the asset, but I need you to have a piece of humble pie. Celebrate your wins, but all that boasting and all that, because this thing can
But
end for you real quick, and people are always watching.
assets always can get cut.
Yes.
You can diminish in value and all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is wow. And I guess that's what our podcast is gonna be about today. So I'm gonna repin this post. Our we were talking about NIL.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Repost this. Building the NIL team. You need a
Mm-hmm.
lawyer, financial coach slash advisor, accountant, manager slash agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for all of you parents out there who are interested in making wanting your kid to be this big athlete, this famous athlete, again, it is more than just the want. There are some things that you have to do. And so if you need any advice or any information, see her. Our special
Inbox.
guest, Tanya
Yes.
Burney. I'm gonna put your picture up in a second. Also, if you have not done so, because we got 4 minutes now, so I'm trying to get you off because I know you got to go.
Okay.
If you have not done so, I'm gonna say it again. Click the link. I pinned it in the chat. Please fill out the survey. She's offering help. She's offering wants to see what's the need of the community. Fill out the survey. I'm gonna say it again. Fill out 2 seconds, maybe a minute,
It don't even
Maybe
whatever.
a
take that.
minute.
Maybe a minute.
Yeah.
Fill out the survey so that she knows where you need help if you want it. Again, we can lead you to water. Can't
Can't
make
make
you
you
drown.
drink. Mm-mm.
So don't say
Right.
that we're not offering. Again, this is what this platform is for. We are for helping the community, and you don't have to just be black.
Mm-mm.
Anybody can fill out this survey.
Mm-mm. And I know I don't speak Spanish, but I know people who do. And if that's a need, I can bring them on board. I got a couple of people already in mind because I know what my platform and what the calling is for what I'm supposed to do. So I've already been thinking about
Technology
all of
too. If
that.
you can't find the people, these phones got them translators. So all y'all
That
kids that
too.
just, y'all don't want to just play sports. These phones, y'all know how y'all do these phones. Y'all can start learning how to make apps and other
Yeah.
stuff that's gonna get you paid for these phones, or
Right.
learn or do something technical, because y'all know y'all stay on y'all phone, and if y'all would die if y'all phone goes. So that's another career. Y'all don't have to be athletes. Y'all can be
No. And that's
computer
Nisha.
analysts or whatever, technology,
Yes.
whatever.
Let me also say this, and I'm glad you said that because one of the things I learned, if God puts it on your heart and it aggravates you, you may be called to that thing. You may be part of the solution for that thing. Ever since youth ball, I remember this one day, and I can remember it right now when I came home, and we may have talked about it in the car, and I was like, and I was asking my husband, I was like, babe, is anybody talking to these kids about the gifts that they have outside of football, everybody, we all have gifts, and that football, track, hockey, whatever it is you gifted in is a platform. Everybody ain't doing that, but it could be a platform for them. But what about those that aren't going to be on a field? Do they know that they have gifts outside of
Chefs
sports?
get paid good too.
So they do. So that's important
Yeah.
to me, because one of the things I
Chefs
want to
get
do is
paid
to
good.
bring people in to expose that. Referees, who talks to a referee? Who has brought in a referee and had them talk to kids? Like, to bring in people
Mm.
outside of sports and within sports, because they think the
Yeah.
whole world has ended if they
They
can't
got
play the game.
on
You
to
could
play
be
the
an
game.
analyst, you can call the game, you could be a referee. So all of those things are important. All those things are
So
important, and I want to
so
expose
this
that
is
too.
what this just popped up. So I don't know if y'all can find a referee. So find a referee,
Oh, honey,
but talk to
yes.
your husband and see for your next financial class if he would mind being side by
I
side.
I've been praying on it. Y'all be in prayer with me, because I've been praying for the last 2 years for that.
Sean, if you
Cause
watching, if
If
you're
you
watching,
listening, cause you over there was interrupting a few
yeah,
minutes ago, come on over.
your
Come
cousin
on
needs you to
over.
come help
Come
these
on over.
parents. Hey, your cousin needs you to come help these parents. Come get on this platform. Come help these parents. Sit beside your wife, and
Come on,
I'm
look,
glad
tell
he
him to come
listening.
on in the
Come
screen,
sit
cause he
beside
was
your
just
wife and
look.
come help
Come on in
us
the screen.
educate the
sir,
community. So
Come
if
on
sir,
in
you
the screen.
listening, the
Stand
next
behind.
next month when she on, I need you to come see. Even if you just want to do 10 minutes, or what it's gonna take about longer than that. But if you just give us a little bit of time, come educate some of these kids about
These
this
parents.
colleges and how give
Mhm.
us some advice. Well,
it's
like I
y'all,
said,
it's coming, because
yeah.
it's coming, because I've been asking for a while now, and and so when we talk about humble pie, my husband eats the humble pie, and he be like, no, I don't want, I gotta be on camera, I don't want to be, babe, like, how do you, God say shine your light, how you
Oh, hold
shine
on,
your
it's a
light, you want to sit
comment.
in the dark? You gotta share, you gotta be willing to share. So it's, y'all, it's coming,
She
it's
said,
coming,
Savannah getting
he
ready to
coming.
sign. So T, we're gonna when I talk to you Sunday, she said Savannah could use your services. When I
Okay,
talk to you Sunday, I'm gonna send you the link. But again, I'm
okay.
gonna repin the link. Um, you know T.
Savannah.
From Wild Mama T Cox, Sherrod's sister.
Okay.
So her
Hold
daughter
on.
is getting ready to sign. I think she's playing, might be girls football or girls something. Um,
Okay.
so
Tell her to inbox
it's
me.
so here's a link, T. Have Savannah fill that out. You fill it out too. Because again, this financial literacy for everybody. So
Right.
fill out the link, and we'll get her, we'll get you guys two set up. So again, like I said, Sean, we waiting for you. Again,
Mhm.
this is about community. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's aggravating and stuff that I don't want to do. Like I was telling y'all off the camera, something that I don't want to do. But if God is saying do it, you have to be humble and
Yes.
do it. And I'm
And
gonna
move.
do it. And I'm
Yes.
moving because it won't let
Yes.
me. It won't let me rest.
It won't, and
So
you won't rest.
yeah,
Trust me.
you
You
already
won't
know.
rest. I know
So
too.
here's her picture. Here's her information. Hold on, let me take this banner off real quick. Uh, this is her information. If you need to reach her, this is Tanya Burney, our financial coach. We're working on the advisor, but again, you need any information. This is Tanya Burney. Like her on Facebook, fill out the information. She'll give you her contact information. Again, fill out the survey. Fill out the survey. And again, what we're doing, we're about helping people. Today, it just so happens to be about student athletes and the challenges that they face and the financial responsibilities that nobody seems to think about. And again, it's all for the community. So
Mhm.
we're doing everything we do for the glory of God, and but we help the community because that is the calling, that is the purpose. And in this season, we are trying to be better than what they've told us that we could be.
Come on.
Because we know that
Yes.
we're better than that. We know
Yes.
that we are grooming people. We are raising more than what they say we raising. And
Yes.
again, we trying to push that and elevate that. Time out for letting our kids feel like they can only just be whatever. No, y'all can be great. And so we're raising some great things out
Yes.
in the community, and that's
Yes.
any community. So she said, "Is this high school?" It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
not just high school. It's not just high school. It's not just college. It's for any athlete,
Yeah.
anybody. She's helping anybody. She's helping adults. It ain't just
Yes.
about sports. It's not.
Mm-mm.
No, it's about anything. Again, this is my financial advisor. I'm gonna give y'all my plug. Well, I kept a secret for a long time. I'm giving y'all my plug. So this is my plug. Shout out to the plug. So
That's
again,
what's up.
we thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you got to go because it's 10:33. She said 10:30. So I know you got to go, but we appreciate you for coming on, and I appreciate
Absolutely.
you for the accepting the assignment. Like you say, it's time. We've been saying this for a while. It's
Yes.
time that we start moving, and I appreciate it. Like I said, we get people all the time say, "Oh, you know what? I heard what she said. I need to talk to her about investing. I need to talk to her about this." Well, y'all missed this earlier when we were talking about investing. But again, go back and listen. All
Right.
we need
And
y'all to
complete the
do,
survey
fill
because
out the
this
survey.
can
There you
be
go.
brought
And post
to
again.
your group. It could be brought to your women's group, your youth group. It could be brought to your church group. It could be brought to your retreats. It could be brought to your family reunions. It is time, y'all listen, to get our financial house in order. All of this stuff, all we doing, all we showcasing, everybody want to live the a fabulous life and their best life, and it starts with you getting your financial life in order. That part.
In that order. And that's it. And that's all. Can you pray us out, ma'am? And we're going to end this
Absolutely.
podcast.
Absolutely. So, Father God, I come to say thank you. I come to say thank you, Father God, for this appointed time, for this divine time. Father God, I come to say thank you for all of the assignments that's tied to this podcast, all of the assignments that are tied to the ones that are watching, Lord God. The need is great. So I pray that you continue to pour into us who are supposed to be pouring out, Lord God. And I pray that the ears that are supposed to receive are receptive to receive, not for just any of us, but ultimately for your glory, Lord, for your glory, so that we can shine our light in this dark, uncertain world. Father God, you've reminded me, and so I am going to say this to your people. Be reminded, though we are in such uncertainty, be certain about the God that we serve. God, we give you the glory and honor in all the things that we do. Be with us, Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, cousin. I love
You're
you.
welcome. Love you. Love you. Thank y'all.
Thank
See you
you.
You
later.
can log off. So with that being said, thank you everybody for watching another episode of Conversations Unlocked and Unfiltered with your girl Ebony and my other my co-host Misha. And
See,
this
you
was a,
said it this time.
I said it
And I
this time because I know you just gonna look at me, but this was a really good episode, and again, it is so needed. It is so um important that we educate the community on being financially stable, to being financially sound, and to understand finances, to not be in debt, to know about credit, to know how to manage money. That's the most important part. You don't have to have $1 million to know how to manage your money. Make your money work for you. You work for it, but now you need to make it work for you. That them days of living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, things are high now, so you will be working forever if you don't know how to properly manage money. And now, like you said, we're bringing it to the community, not just for the kids, but for the older people too. It's never too late. Never too late to know how to manage money, to know how to manage the family business, as we call it. Thank you, Kayla. The family business is never too late to know how to manage the family business, because in the long run, you don't want your family to be in debt. You don't want your business to go unfinished. You want to make sure that you leave a legacy or whatever it is that you're trying to leave behind. And it's important. So you don't have to make $1 million. You can start anywhere. You just have to start. So we appreciate her for being on. I appreciate you another for another Saturday, and we thank God for everything that He's doing on this platform. So again, this has been Conversations Unlocked and Unfiltered. We appreciate y'all. Like, share, follow the post, share this post. Listen, I done text this post out probably like 5 times while we sitting here. I literally texted. I text the conversation to people. Text it to someone who could benefit from it. Somebody that don't know. They don't have to be friends with me. My page is open, so anybody can see it. But this was vital information, and you need to know. And if you need help, she's willing to help. And if you already got a financial advisor, okay, that's great. If you looking for your kid to be successful or whatever, and your kid is in elementary, middle school, whatever it is, okay, now is the time to start putting together a plan. That way, when you're in high school or late middle school, you're not fumbling. I already have a plan. What do we say? Strategy. I need a backup for the backup for that backup for that backup. I'm like A, B, C, D. I don't care if we go all the way down to Z. I need to know where we're going. That's just how I operate. So it's okay. So we appreciate y'all. And we're gonna close out as we always do. No matter what you're going through in life, just always remember the best is yet to come.